that was when you sit there and text away on your phone, that light was just green. So you just sat there texting away while playing a fucking probably Candy Crush or something shit. Look, get off your phone, you fucking idiot. It's the second time he was about to do it again. What's up everybody, Integration here. A couple of new things. Got myself some Alpinestar gloves. Finally. My ones are getting a little bit worn out. Yeah, they were getting a little bit worn out. They weren't really the best set of gloves. I think they were only about £40–50. They did me well, I guess, for a while. I mean, I might as well invest in some decent gear now, because I'm only going to need it sooner or later. Always great when people know which lane to be in, innit? Yeah, I thought I might as well invest in some decent gear, really. These gloves are brilliant. I think they are, yeah, they're GP Plus. So they're not a lot more expensive, I don't think, but obviously they're Alpinestars, which are a better brand in comparison to RST. Yeah, I suppose once I kind of maybe got a little bit more into motorbikes and that, I really aim to get Alpinestar gear or Dainese. I mean, I don't know, maybe one day I will end up with Dainese. Personally, I think some of their higher end gear is probably a little bit better than Alpine. But I mean, regardless, they're both very good. So of course I had to go a little bit matching, as you can already see by my arms and my knees. I don't know if you can really see the writing on the leg, but I do have Alpinestar one-piece levers, which again are absolutely brilliant. They're a lot better than my old RST leather, or levers even, which was a two-piece. I went for a one-piece because I thought I thought they'd maybe last a little bit longer. They're a full suit, a bit more comfortable. Just jump to the front here. A bit more comfortable, and it wouldn't put as much strain on that kind of 360 zip that it has that connects them both, because that in the end was what went on my RST gear. They were quite old, so I suppose that's going to happen eventually. I mean, I suppose a one-piece suit probably has its weak points as well. Everything does, but I just chose to go for a one-piece suit this time. So I guess maybe slightly regretting it due to how much more ag it is to put a one-piece suit on, but personally I think it's worth it. And especially where obviously again it's better quality leather in my opinion than the RST. It's a lot thicker. I noticed with the Tractech Evo suit that I was also looking to get, it was extremely thin. I mean, I know it's kind of CE approved and all that, but it was a lot thinner leather than my old RST leathers, and the levers I'm wearing now, and obviously the thicker lever you have, the longer it's going to give you sliding across the road. It's common sense. So I thought, rather than waste my money on an RST one-piece suit like the Tractor Kevo suits, I know they do the slightly better ones, but they're, in my opinion, overpriced for what they are. I'd rather kind of put a little bit extra. I think the camera's turned off. No, it hasn't. In my opinion, yeah, I'd rather get Alpine Star or Dainese or something like that, a lot more of a reputable manufacturer, I guess. I mean, not that RST ain't, they are brilliant, but I suppose in my opinion they're slightly more budget, but they are brilliant for what they are. But I got them as my first kind of levers, and obviously I've still got the red boots. I'm gonna have to get myself some black boots eventually when I get the money, and I've still got my red helmet, so I'll probably have to invest in, I don't know, a black shoey or a black Arai to match the rest of the levers. But yeah, I mean, they are brilliant at the moment. I really like them. They're really comfortable. Same with the gloves, they're really comfortable. I usually wear like a cotton pair of gloves underneath my RST gloves, because I suppose my fingers were skinnier than the glove itself, so I had quite a lot of extra room. But I mean, these gloves are almost perfect. They are, again, slightly loose, but when I put gloves on underneath there, it makes them a little bit small for my fingers, I guess, because it kind of starts to hurt. So maybe I'll have to get kind of like the Oxford thermal inliner kind of type gloves. So I assume they'd be a little bit thinner than them kind of cottony winter gloves I wear underneath. And they probably do the same job, so I might look into that. Other than that, obviously, you may have already noticed, you probably have already noticed, I've got my blue levers back. They came today. But the only thing I will say again is they're from a Chinese seller or a Japanese seller, can't remember which one. I'm already in 6th gear. Sorry, I've got a bit mind blank then. Yeah, they're from I think they are from a Chinese seller. Don't hold me to it, I'm not 100% sure. But they're copies, they're not kind of ASB or anything like that. Simply because they're a lot more expensive. I don't have that money for them types of gloves. I wish I did, but I don't. And they don't make them for this bike. They do not make them. So obviously I can't get levers that don't exist. I mean, I suppose possibly I could have requested them be custom made maybe, or maybe there are other models of the bigger CBRs that are kind of cross transferable in the sense of levers, but I couldn't really be bothered with all that hassle. I just thought go for these ones. They were fairly cheap, I think £37–40, something like that. So it's not kind of gonna burn a hole in my pocket in comparison to the ASVs, which are I think about £100. But the only thing I can fault them on is I decided to get long instead of shorties initially. I think I have briefly been over this, but I'll just explain it again. The longer ones were too long. They were a lot longer than the standard levers, which then should be in this lane, which then meant that they stuck out quite a substantial amount past my bar ends that I had then. Was that a fire? Or obviously my bar end mirrors at the moment. Sorry about that, guys. That vlog got interrupted by my buddy ringing me. I just picked him up. Can't think where I was going with that vlog. Apologies for the loss of trail of thought. I think I was at my levers. Other than they're kind of not perfect kind of design, the shorties I prefer a lot more because they don't protrude as much. Bloody hell. That's what happens when you don't concentrate. Yeah, I prefer the shorties because they don't protrude as much. But the only problem is I've noticed the lever doesn't pull all the way out when this is, you can see, change gear, where that's sitting now. If I just poke that, it goes forward a bit more, so it doesn't fully click back out when this bolt here is fully tightened, which obviously holds the lever in. But if I loosen that any more, it kind of starts to unloosen itself gradually, and it will just pop the bolt off the bottom, which obviously I don't want to do. But once it's pulled in like that, as you can just see there, that's the bit of, I mean, it is disengaged at that amount, but it should, I think, sit kind of there. That's how my stock one sat. But if I loosen off that bolt when it's like this, for instance, if I loosened it up now just ever so slightly, it would ping back out there. But obviously I can't leave it that loose because it will just kind of fall off. So that is a bit of a pain in the arse. They never seem to get it perfect when they do copies. But I suppose it is understandable because it is a very different design and a very different shape. But overall, they are pretty good, I guess, for the amount you pay for them. Depending on if you go for the newer shape like I did or the older shape. The older shape are obviously slightly cheaper. But they do the job. They look cool. So you can only fault them so much. I think just about covers everything. I'm sure that's everything. Same as always. I've probably forgotten something along the lines. It always happens. But I suppose that's a little update for now. But there is something I'm planning very soon, which is quite a cool few modifications I'm going to do. I suppose it's just finishing touches for this. It'll all tie it together, make it stand out from the crowd a lot more than any other one I've seen. I've never seen this idea on anything else. I did come up with the idea myself. I haven't been copied it from anyone. Oh, fuck's sake.
Stop fucking about with your clutch.
Video, dickhead. Yeah, I've got quite a few good plans to finish this bike up, really. I've seen half of the design or half of the idea on some bikes and the other half's on other bikes, I guess, but this idea I've kind of come up with, which isn't anything amazing. It's, I suppose, common sense, really, but it's something so simple, but I guess quite smart at the same time, that it would be overlooked quite simply. But fingers crossed, if all goes well, that should be done in a few months' time. It's going to cost not a massive amount of money, but quite a bit of money. and it's going to probably take a while for me to get all the bits posted to me and get them all together, and kind of get it all done. I mean, I may do some bits, some of the smaller bits, and then kind of post little pictures and that on Instagram to keep you updated, which is why you've got to jump over and follow me on Instagram, Twitter, my Facebook page, because when I'm not making videos or I'm unable to make videos sometimes, I generally keep you updated on things like Instagram and Twitter. So jump over and follow me on them, because you will receive probably more often updates than you will on YouTube, unfortunately, but it takes obviously longer and it's a little bit more difficult to gather decent footage and edit it all up than it is just to take a quick snapshot and throw a caption on it. So follow me on them, I'll keep you updated.